What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to life at Britain's smallest school. This video is from 1974. I'm not really sure if by smallest school, if they mean the size of the building itself, or if they mean the amount of students that go to the school. I'm guessing it's probably the amount of students that go to the school, but I'm not really sure. But anyways, guys, I came across this video and I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of see what life was like at a British school almost 50 years ago. I've learned about the British or UK education system a little bit. I think I watched 2 videos on that topic maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And one thing that I definitely remember learning was that most British students have to wear uniforms to school. And I'm sure it's been like that. If that's still the case now, I'm sure it was definitely the case back 50 years ago. And that's something I've never experienced in my life, going to public school. We never had to wear uniforms. I think I actually would have preferred that. I think if you're the type of person that likes, fashion, you like picking out your clothes and stuff like that, I think you probably don't like the whole uniform thing. But someone like me, man, I can't stand clothes. Like I don't really care about fashion or anything like that. I just like, whatever's comfortable, I'm the jeans and t-shirt guy all the way, my ball cap. I wear a lot of sandals during the summer. I wear tennis shoes or, sneakers. What do you guys call those? Sneakers or, sports shoes? I'm not really sure what you guys call them. But anyways, I wear those a lot during the summer. But that's kind of off topic. But just saying, that's definitely one thing that stuck out was the uniform thing. And guys, I just think this will be interesting to kind of get a look at, what school was like 50 years ago. And I think it'll also give me a little bit insight into, just the British education system in general, like what kids were doing back 50 years ago. I'm sure it's changed a lot, but I'm sure some of these practices and things are probably still around today. So anyways, guys, enough rambling from me. Let's go ahead and dive in and learn about life at Britain's smallest school back in 1974.
Over there is the smallest school in Britain. It's got just 2 pupils.
2?
And a teaching staff of 1.
Oh, okay. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, that is a very small school, but is this the same family? I mean, is it just a mother teaching her kids as a homeschool? I mean, that's basically what that sounds like to me. It's just like it's a homeschool, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and find out. Wow.
It's perhaps Britain's most desolate as well. A tin and timber converted bunkhouse, or bothy, as they're called in Scotland. The children live almost next door to the school. Their father, Jock Kearney, is the stalker and gamekeeper on the Countess of Sutherland's 32,000-acre estate.
Durach, come on here. Good dog. Durach.
150 square miles famed for its herds of wild deer. But the gamekeeper's house is 16 miles from the nearest village.
Wow.
You can only reach it by a bone-shaking ride through some of the most wild and unspoilt country in Scotland. But splendid isolation presented the Education Authority with the problem of getting the children to and from school. The only way was to bring the school to the children. How did you manage to persuade the Education Authorities to give you virtually your own school? How did that come about?
We didn't persuade anybody.
No. They told me I would have to leave this job and get another one where I could get them to school easier. And I just told them that wasn't the problem at all. So, of course, they had to get one.
Which I presume is cheaper, paying a teacher to stay here.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was thinking, okay, this has got to be, as a homeschool, the mom's, she's just basically teaching her kids. And I was like, well, that's not even really kind of like, not what I was expecting at all, but like, okay, this is very interesting. Like, so they actually brought a teacher out. I guess the teacher lived there. I don't know. And just to teach these 2 kids. Wow. Wow. That's wild, man.
Than to send a vehicle to take the children the 16 miles to Kinbrae School.
That wouldn't work anyway, because half the time in the winter time they would never get down the road to school.
Oh.
Blocked with snow.
Wow.
Do you think there are any disadvantages at all in having almost your own private school on your doorstep?
Well, the only disadvantage I can see in it is for the boy. He doesn't have probably enough other little boys to go about and fight with, you know.
Right, back to your places then.
Apart from its size and its location, Loch Core runs just like any other school.
I can hear someone talking here now. Looking...
Grey school uniforms, a 6-hour day, and absolutely no hope of playing truant.
Whoa, that's true, man. That's so true. Wow, dude. Like, it's kind of like homeschool now is, you know, you can have the same socialization with homeschool in America as you would at public school, you know, with all the different extracurricular activities and things like that. You know, it's really not much different. But I can imagine, like, he said the boy, but also the girl. The girl, I guess, doesn't really have any. Neither of them have any friends, I'm guessing, around there. It looks like they're completely isolated. And I mean, in some ways, that's a pretty cool way to grow up in a way. But also another way, man, it's just like, wow, man, this, you know, I'm sure they crave some socialization that they're definitely not getting, man.
But there are some differences. When the weather's suitable, the classroom goes outside.
This is some of the benefits that I'm thinking, man, right here. Yeah, absolutely.
The biggest place I've been to is Dundee.
This place I've been to is Inverness.
And what did you like Inverness?
Yes, it's all right.
And Dundee?
Yes, okay. I never really saw all of it. I was just in the hospital, but I saw a part of it.
What were you doing in the hospital then?
I don't know. It was something.
Something wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know. But they say by the time I got there, I was all right.
Yes.
It took so long to get there. When we saw a block of flats, we thought it was huge.
Have you been to a picture house?
No.
Cinema?
No.
Well, yes, but it's not a real cinema. It's at Galsby, Dunrobin Castle.
Oh, yeah.
We sometimes go to a party there and you get a sort of film thing there.
Yeah, there was one James Bond, it was a good one. Well, there's one thing that I want. Most children have, and we did have, but something went wrong with it. A bicycle.
Oh, man.
I'd like one.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. We can sort of half and half ride
We
one.
can't so, never mind half and half. We can't.
Mummy
ride one.
won't allow. Says she wouldn't allow us on the main road with a bike.
Have you've never been on a train, have you?
No.
Katrina hasn't, I have.
You've been on a train?
Yes, 3 times.
I've always wanted to go on a train, but
Never.
I hope I do sometime. But
Yeah.
When Katrina and Ian are 12, they're likely to go to a state boarding school 60 miles away. And then there'll be just one pupil, 4-year-old Alexandra.
Wow. Oh,
She
wow.
starts school soon and already joins in with the painting lessons.
Why would they be sent to a boarding school, man? Nah, man. I mean, you're going to leave this little girl all by herself, man. Like, I like the idea of keeping these kids together, you know, especially when they're so isolated. You know, they need each other for socialization, you know, and if you take these two away to send them to boarding school, she's going to be left all alone with like zero socialization, I guess, from any kids at all. Man, it's just, that can be really rough on the kids, man. Man, it's a beautiful life in some ways, and it's very enviable to have that upbringing to where they're probably seeing themselves, probably learning about growing their own foods and fishing and doing all sorts of things outdoors. And he's probably learning about building stuff, and like, that's all awesome. But, you know, you also need that socialization factor. You really do. Even if it's not every day, you need it at least, you know, a couple times a week or something. But Yeah.
Shall I put Ian's tie on now for you?
Yes. I'll have to have his legs.
Oh, well, you can do his legs.
Do you think you look forward to going to the big school?
Yes. Yes, we'll probably have a lot more friends there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they look forward to
We
it.
get other places. Boy, we're really having fun.
What are you going to be, do you think, when you get a bit older, when you grow up?
Ian wants to be a stalker here when Daddy dies.
Yeah, I want to take over.
I'd like to be a secretary or a receptionist or something like that, but I don't know.
You have to leave here then.
Yeah.
Do you want to live near round?
Around here, yes.
Yeah. Thought so.
You don't want to move away?
Well, I'll probably have to move away from here, but I want to
yeah.
live near here. Somewhere
Yeah,
near.
and I want to live here. Right here.
Even though Ian and Katrina will soon be leaving Lockcore, their mother is confident that the school won't be closed.
Wait, were they both 12? I know I heard him say he was 12, but I thought she was younger. Either way.
She's expecting another baby. So
Oh.
the school's future is guaranteed for a few years to come.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning.
Wow, dude. You know, you see things like this and you can't help but wonder, you know, this is 49 years ago. So, you know, so they're probably what, 60-ish, 61, I don't know, somewhere around that right now. So you got to wonder whatever happened to them. That'd be really interesting to, you know, you see little clips like this and you can't help but like just wonder like what happened to those kids as they grew up. You know, did he become the stalker like his dad was? Did she go and live around there but become a secretary or something, or something completely different happened? And you wonder, like, because of the isolation, what do they, when they look back in their childhood and see the isolation, what do they think about it now? But like I said, I can see both pros and cons with a life like this. It's, you know, the fresh air, just the nature all around, and, you know, just, you know, in some ways, especially for someone who's a little bit more introverted, that quietness of nature is a positive thing in a lot of cases. But even an introvert needs some socialization, and you know, you obviously want some socialization of the opposite sex to really grow into your own as a man or a woman, generally speaking. Some people are, you know, blessed to have a lot of that socialization. Some people don't have as much, such as these kids right here. But it's still needed to, at least to a certain extent, I believe. At least it's preferable, you know. But this was wild, man. This is completely different from what I expected. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, a one-room schoolhouse, perhaps. But I thought it was going to be, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 students or something like that. Didn't expect it would basically be a brother and a sister, and I think another sister now in there. But yeah, man, this is crazy. You know, like, they were both wearing the same uniforms. What was that song they were singing? Was that it was almost like they were doing their own version of what, like, how kids, not as much today, but back in the day, would do Pledge of Allegiance here. When I was in school, we would, you know, I mean, I'm not even back into like the 60s or 70s, but, you know, when I was in school, you know, the Pledge of Allegiance would come over to the intercom and everybody would stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And I don't know, they were singing something. It looked like they sung some sort of anthem or something every morning. I'm not saying it was an anthem, but it seemed like they were singing something, perhaps about the country or something, but I have no idea. Maybe it wasn't. But I'm curious, what do schools look today? You know, we're not necessarily even in 2023 even, but like in the last, say, 10 or 15 years, what do schools look like today in the last 10 or 15 years versus what schools look like in the UK back, you know, in 1974? What differences are there, and what similarities are there? You know, do you guys actually say some sort of maybe not pledging your allegiance to a flag or something like that, but some sort of little patriotic tune or anything. I know that for the most part, kids still wear uniforms, from what I understand. What other stuff is very unique to British schools, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'd also like to do this for Ireland if I could find a good video for it. I've looked and I haven't found anything that looked like it would be, really give me an insight into Irish schools. I'll have to continue trying to look for that, but feel free to share videos about British schools or Irish schools. And when I say British schools, I also mean, it could be individually Scotland, Wales, England, whatever. But I'm interested in all that. This is just a topic, the whole education system from the UK and Ireland. I'm very interested in learning about it because I know it's quite different from what we have here in the US. And even since I've been out of school, I know the school systems have changed dramatically. Back when I was in school, we had a computer lab, but no one had laptops. And I know that today everybody does things on laptops and tablets and stuff, and we didn't have any of that. And so it's definitely a different world. And the education world, the school system world itself seems to change very quickly. So I'm very curious about some of these things, both past and present. So anyways, guys, enough rambling for me. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.